What's going on here?
You add that mess into that read, too. Mess was not in that read. You ad-lib.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I was reading it, too. Skip, it looks like to me for the first time in 10 years, LeBron is resigned to the fact he doesn't have a roster that he can get to the NBA Finals with. This roster, minus Kevin Love, might be worse than the roster he took for the very first time when he back in Cleveland, I think in 2007. This is what they're old and they're not playing very well. And I know JR has gone through a lot of things over the last couple of years, Skip, but JR has not played well since he got that big contract. Tristan Thompson is not playing up to that contract. And he knows it. He knows he's stuck on a bad roster that have no tradable pieces. The only two pieces that there are three things they want from the Cavs. They want LeBron, they'll take Kevin Love, they want that Nets pick. Other than that, they don't want it.
I agree.
They don't want it. They can't give Isaiah Thomas away. Skip, I'm looking at Isaiah. He has the worst net minus in the NBA. Chris Paul cooked him. Chris Paul rode Isaiah Thomas like a scooter in Mexico. Now, Joe, I hadn't been to Mexico in a long time, but I hear they ride scooters. Not only do the locals ride scooters, but the tourists, because that's a quick way to get around because a lot of traffic in just a small area. But that's what Chris Paul did. Chris Paul was plus 47 on Saturday night. Plus 47. Isaiah Thomas minus is 8.6. He's playing 26 minutes a game. Skip, imagine if he was playing his normal minutes, 35 to 36 a night. What that plus minus, the minus would actually be. He's down 10 point in field goal percentage. He's down 14 point in 3-point percentage. There is no coincidence that LeBron James is averaging 22 points a game since this guy's been back in the lineup. And I wondered why. Like, Ty Lue, you got a good thing going. Why would you automatically insert him into the lineup? Let him play his way back into shape and then find a lineup. But they had a nice rotation. They were coming with D-Wade, Jeff Green, Kyle Korver, LeBron running that unit. He messed that all up. Next thing I know, you see the lineup, they got Tristan in there. I'm like, what? You got a nice rotation and you mess it up because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings? Look here. Dan Gilbert, you're not finna sign Isaiah Thomas. If there's a local carnival coming to town, trade it for some Cracker Jacks or some candied apples or something. Get what you can. Nobody wants, Skip, I've said this before. If you're 5'9", explosive, quick, they can find a place for you in the NBA. Mosey Bowles, hell, was 5'3", 5'4". Spud Webb was like 5'6", 5'7".
Good friend of mine. Go ahead.
But when you're 5'9" and you're not explosive, you're a liability. Look how Chris Paul was going around him. So he can't play defense. He can't give you the 30 that you were hoping. You can't give you the 28 because you talked it into existence because he's going to average 30. And he's shooting like he's trying to get 30. Yep. But if he can't give you 30 points, he'll have the occasional night where he gets 6 or 7 assists. But more times than not, he's 4 to 5. He can't score. He's a defensive liability. He's of no use to you, Skip. He's not even close to being the Isaiah Thomas. And just maybe, the last 2 seasons in Boston was an anomaly. And the Phoenix and Sacramento was who the real Isaiah Thomas is.
I completely concur. So, my takeaway from this right now, and I watch every LeBron game closely, is this doesn't feel like the typical middle of the year dog days, going to flip the switch here in a couple of weeks after he gets a little break. It doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like either LeBron is starting to show some age or he's quitting on Dan Gilbert, who, by the way, may be insisting that Isaiah Thomas be in the starting lineup. It could be because there have been reports that they text in their buds, okay? And it also starts to look like the team might be quitting on LeBron because remember the social media post last week where he accused some other anonymous teammates on the team of being lazy and how disrespectful that is to people who believe in you. So LeBron saying, I believe in you guys, but you're being lazy. You're not fulfilling your part of the bargain here.
Correct.
So then I look at what's happened since Christmas. This team is 6-12 since Christmas. And you look at some of these, I don't have time to list all the games, but there are a lot of uglies in here.
Yeah.
Where you say, what? Where you're just getting wiped out by Oklahoma City by 24 points, and then they hit bottom on Saturday night. that was almost unwatchable. Like it was over like that because Houston was running a layup line. They're just like layups, or Chris Paul says, oh, I think I'm going to get in the lane here and rise up here and shoot this little 8-footer.
I mean, how many dunks did Capella have, like, in consecutive?
It's just
Ryan
sad.
Anderson getting rebounds and dunking.
It's just sad. And so obviously they're a poor defensive team, but I got Mark Jackson brought this up, and I don't want to dwell on this because I do agree LeBron, especially without Kevin Love, doesn't have a lot of help, and Isaiah is a liability in the starting lineup. I give you that. I agree with you. But Mark Jackson said on the telecast on ABC the other night that LeBron, if he's still the best player on the planet, he has to try to lift this team up as best he can. You know, you need to ignite the defense or spark the offense. And right now, he's just half-hearted, like he's giving into the situation. And I've never seen him like that. And that's what Brian Windhorst, who's covered him from like junior high school, that's what he's writing is, I've never seen LeBron this, to use the word, dispirited, where it's like you're losing heart for it.
A game or two, Skip. You see him a game or two.
Know, but
not a month.
This is just sad.
Yes.
And it doesn't look fixable unless you can make the big trade. So, you know what I'm getting tired of is this game of chicken between Dan Gilbert and LeBron James, this cat and mouse where neither will commit publicly to what's going on. I wish they could just lay it on the line and sort of challenge each other publicly, because what Dan Gilbert is saying behind closed doors is there's no way I'm going to trade the Brooklyn pick unless LeBron will commit to me for at least one more year, but probably for a couple of 3 more years. And LeBron is saying there's no way I'm going to commit to you in this situation.
I don't know if LeBron's going to commit to anybody for 3 years at a time because he doesn't want to get tied down, because here's the problem. And this, Skip, this is why he only signed a 2-year deal with Dan Gilbert. He signs a 5-year deal, and Dan Gilbert is pulling this bull jive. All of a sudden,
which is why I couldn't believe he signed a 0-year deal with Dan Gilbert.
Well, you already know. We already said, you and I both said, there's no way I'm going back after you talk to me about like that. I'm not coming back, so you can forget that. But he signed a 2-year deal because he didn't trust Dan Gilbert was going to keep his word, that he was going to do everything he possibly could to make sure we remain really competitive and for a chance to compete for a title. That's what the expectations were. I will spend whatever I need to, if I have to go into the luxury tax, to make sure we have a championship caliber team. LeBron, I'm willing to do that.
Okay.
LeBron says, I'm coming home. Now, all of a sudden, it's being reported, you know, they lost $25 million, 18 was luxury tax. That's not what you said. Dude, you've increased your value since LeBron been back by over $1 billion.
Sure he has. I agree.
Yeah, and so that's what, let's Skip. I get it. And LeBron, I still believe LeBron is the best player. But Skip, it's hard to overcome that Isaiah. Skip, he can't stay in front of anybody.
Well, he's just not right. He's not healthy yet. So he's trying to play his way back into health. And you know, and I know with those hips, go back to Bo Jackson. Sometimes you just can't fix them.
They take a long time, Skip, because everything is moving. You got to open up, and it's quick.
He's sad looking to me, too, because he has no lateral quickness or no vertical quickness.
Tell me the time you see him make a layup and he stays on his feet.
No.
I mean, I'm like, they need to check the court. Because he's slipping and sliding everywhere. I see maybe they got different type of sneakers on than what he has on, because he's slip sliding all over the place. Skip, is sad. I mean, just looking at LeBron, I can just feel the frustration because he's resigned to the fact, Skip. He knows, even if he goes on one of these historic tears that we know he can go on, where he shoots 60% from the floor, he shoots 40% from three, and he's averaging 30, 10, and 12 a night. He knows that's not good enough to pull this team to where he wants to get it.
Well, I don't know where the culpability lays total, but if you just
Luke gets some blame too now.
Okay, he does, but since Christmas, of the 518 players in the NBA, LeBron in plus minus is second worst in the NBA. And you, again, there's no Kevin Love now, and there is Isaiah Thomas. So I get all that, but man, you can just see what's happening. LeBron's either giving up on it or them, or they're on him. It's like,
look at LeBron when Isaiah Thomas is not on the floor. LeBron's getting to the basket. Guys are getting shots. Skip, I mean, all you got to do is just trap him. I mean, he's going there. Then all of a sudden he tries to go up, and there's nowhere to go. Then he throws the ball out of bounds. The majority of LeBron turnovers, he's trying to give him the ball.
But can you condemn Dan Gilbert for being caught in this, not catch 22, but catch 23 situation where he's saying, Okay, you bolted on me once, and you left me with a bunch of old, overpaid players then, and I couldn't rebuild very quickly. So he's saying, I got to keep the Brooklyn pick because it's all I got.
I blame Dan Gilbert because if you want to trade Kyrie Irving to the Celtics, have at it. I want the Brooklyn picks. But Skip, you take a guy with an injured hip. How many guys have injured hips and never come back to be what they were before they injured the hip?
I said it the day they made the trade. I said I couldn't believe it. And Danny Ainge then admitted a couple days later, yeah, the hip had something to do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because so if you want to say, okay, give me Jaylen Brown, give me Marcus Smart and that Brooklyn pick. I'll let y'all figure out what y'all going to do with Isaiah Thomas. Skip, I'm not taking damaged goods. Now, Kyrie might need a little cleanup procedure, but Kyrie's healthy. Yeah. Kyrie was going to start day one of training camp. Opening day, Kyrie was going to be in the lineup. They didn't know when. They were talking about possibly all-star game. Originally, that's what it was, probably all-star game before, somewhere near all-star game before he comes back. Yeah. And next thing you know, one time he comes off the bench, and the next game he's in the starting lineup. Man, Ty Lue, you wrong with this, Ty Lue. You bear some culpability too.
Number one, I do not believe Dan Gilbert will part with the Brooklyn pick, which leads to number two. I'm going to be shocked if they can land DeAndre Jordan for their pick this year, and then whatever spare parts these, like you said, these guys you can't give away.
Right.
They're like expiring contract type players. But the bottom line to this is, I'm not sure even DeAndre Jordan can fix this. He would help as a rim protector. He would help.
If they got rid of Isaiah. Trade Isaiah for Kemba Walker. They're trying to get rid of Kemba. Trade that.
Why would Michael look at the tape of this guy and want him?
Okay, how about this, Skip? You don't want $12 million or whatever. Trade Isaiah, and we'll give you our pick this year.
What you should have done is never traded Kyrie in the first place.
I wouldn't have done that either. But I got no Skip.
If you did get something equal value in return, then
you never get equal value because Sacramento didn't get equal value when they gave up Boogie. Jimmy Butler you can't get for superstars. You don't ever get equal value. But I would take Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and that Nets pick as opposed to Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'm shocked that it's going this way with Dan Gilbert and the Cavs.
Yeah.
I thought Dan Gilbert with his trade.
Next up, the Colts were expected to name Josh McDaniels their new head coach after the